Welcome back to the channel Coin Star, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and smash the bell icon so you never miss out on a coin that could make you rich. Now get ready, because today's spotlight is on an ordinary looking yet extremely valuable coin, the 1962 D Lincoln 1-cent coin, marked with the powerful words, "Liberty," and, "In God We Trust." This coin is not just a piece of metal. It's a slice of American history. It's a symbol of resilience, of values, and of course, if you're lucky, a gateway to nearly $10,000 in your wallet. Let's dive deep into its story, the fascinating facts, historical background, rare errors, mint mark secrets, and of course, the current market value that has left collectors stunned. History of the coin, 130 to 430, the year is 1962. John F. Kennedy is president. The Cold War is intensifying. The Beatles are still on the rise. And in Denver, Colorado, millions of pennies are being minted, including one that would become a legend, the Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, continued its journey through the decades with the iconic portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. By 1962, the design had already become one of the most recognized faces in U.S. currency. But in that particular year, coins minted in Denver bore a small D mint mark right under the date. That little D is what makes the 1962 D penny so special for collectors today. With over 1.79 billion 1962 D pennies minted, it may seem like they're everywhere. But here's the twist: only a small number of them have rare errors or are in near-perfect condition that make them worth thousands. Let's break it all down. Coin design breakdown. 430 to 630, the obverse side of the coin features Abraham Lincoln facing right. Just above his head are the iconic words, "In God We Trust," a phrase that speaks volumes about American values. To the left of Lincoln, you'll find the word "Liberty," reminding us of the principles that this great country was founded on. And to the right, the date 1962, with a tiny D below it, standing for the Denver Mint. The reverse side of the coin is just as powerful. It features two wheat stalks curved along the edges, which is why this design is often called the wheat penny. In the center are the words, "1 cent" and "United States of America," along with "E pluribus unum" across the top. It's classic. It's iconic. And when preserved properly or struck with rare errors, it's extremely valuable. Rare errors and special varieties, 630 to 1030. Now let's get to the real juice. The rare varieties and errors that can boost the value of a 1962 D penny from 1 cent to nearly $9,876. Here are the most sought-after errors. 1. Double die obverse, DDO. Some 1962 D pennies were struck with a doubled image on the front side. Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even the date 1962. If you see slight doubling, you've hit a jackpot. These can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Point 2. Off-center strike. If the coin's design is not perfectly centered and you see part of the coin blank or misaligned, you may be looking at an error worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on the degree of the off-center strike. Point 3. BIE error. This is when a small die crack forms between the letters B and E in "Liberty," making it appear like the word BIE. While common in some years, certain clean examples from 1962 D can attract serious attention from collectors. Point 4. Repunched mint mark, RPM. Some 1962 D pennies show signs of the mint mark being punched more than once, creating a shadow-like appearance under magnification. If you spot this, you've got a hot item. Point 5. High-grade uncirculated, MS 67 or higher even without errors, a perfectly preserved 1962 D Lincoln cent, graded by NGC or PCGS as MS 67 or higher, can sell for thousands. The record sale of such a coin? A staggering $9,876. Why some are worth thousands, 1030 to 1300 hours. So how does a 1-cent coin become worth $9,876? It all comes down to a mix of scarcity, condition, demand, and certification. Scarcity. While millions were minted, only a handful have those rare errors or are in pristine condition. Coins that have never been circulated or touched by bare hands remain in what's called mint state. These are extremely rare, demand. Coin collectors are always on the hunt for high-grade or error coins from the Lincoln series, certification. Coins that are authenticated and graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC often get a huge bump in value, and guess what? That $9,876 coin we mentioned earlier, it was a perfect MS-67 red 1962 D Lincoln cent, sold at auction to a private collector who knew exactly what he was getting, what to look for, 13 to 1500 hours. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have a valuable one? Here's your checklist. Check the date. Make sure it says 1962 with a small d underneath, look at the words, Inspect, Liberty, and, In God We Trust under a magnifying glass for doubling or cracks, examine the mint mark, look for signs of repunching, look at the centering, is the coin off-center or misaligned, color and luster, a bright red shine indicates a higher mint state grade. No scratches or wear. The fewer the marks, the better your chances, and most importantly, consider getting it graded. Even if it costs $30 to $50 to grade, it can multiply your coin's value tenfold or more. Current market trends, 15 to 1730. Now let's talk about the market. The coin collecting world has exploded in recent years, thanks to social media and online auctions. Collectors are paying top dollar for rare and unique Lincoln cents. Even mid-grade 1962 D pennies with minor errors are going for $100 to $500, and high-grade certified coins are regularly hitting $1,000 plus, but only the rarest, cleanest examples, those flawless MS-67 red beauties, are commanding $9,000 or more. Some experts even believe the market value could rise as more collectors seek out these golden era coins. So if you've got a jar full of old pennies lying around, it's time to dig in. Outro and call to action, 17:30, and, so there you have it, the incredible story of the 1962 D Lincoln 1-cent coin. What once was a simple penny in someone's pocket could now be a life-changing piece of history. If you found this video helpful, educational, or just plain exciting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome videos like this. Tell us in the comments, do you have a 1962 D penny? Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? And remember, treasure isn't always buried. Sometimes, it's just hiding in your coin jar. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, where the next coin might just make you a millionaire. Today's video is about a coin that's hiding in plain sight. A coin you've probably held in your hands at some point, spent without a second thought, or maybe even tossed into a piggy bank and forgot about. But what if I told you that this coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars? That's right, we're diving deep into the world of the 1978 1-cent Liberty, In God We Trust, United States coin, also known as the 1978 Lincoln penny. This isn't just any ordinary penny, this tiny copper treasure could be worth way more than 1 cent. So make sure to watch this video until the very end, because I'll be sharing how you can tell if your 1978 penny is rare, valuable, or even worth a small fortune. Let's get started. Part 1, Historical Background. So let's rewind a bit. The year is 1978. Disco is still alive, the first Star Wars movie just changed cinema forever, and Jimmy Carter is President of the United States. Amidst all that, the U.S. Mint was continuing its production of one of the most iconic coins in American history. The Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than Lady Liberty. And ever since, it has become a fixture of American coinage. Now, by the time 1978 rolled around, the design of the penny had been slightly updated but still featured that classic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side, with the words Liberty to the left, the date 1978 on the right, and the national motto In God We Trust proudly displayed above his head. On the reverse side, the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial was still used, a design that had replaced the original wheat ears back in 1959. So what makes the 1978 penny special? Let's break it down. Part 2, Composition and Minting. The 1978 Lincoln penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that would soon change in the 1980s due to rising metal costs. These coins were struck at 3 major U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, Denver Mint, marked with AD, San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, mostly for proofs. Over 5.5 billion pennies were minted in Philadelphia alone in 1978, and another 4.2 billion in Denver. That's a lot of pennies. So you might be wondering, if there were billions of them made, why would any of them be worth more than 1 cent? The answer lies in condition, rarity, errors, and demand. Part 3, Valuable 1978 Penny Errors and Varieties. Here's where things get really interesting. While most 1978 pennies are common and worth face value, a select few carry mint errors and unique features that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Let's talk about some of these. Double die obverse, DDO. This is one of the most famous types of mint errors. If your 1978 penny has doubling on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, it could be a double die error. These errors can fetch anywhere from $100 to $1,000 plus, depending on how strong the doubling is and the coin's condition. Off-center strikes. Coins that are struck off-center, meaning the design is not perfectly aligned, are considered highly collectible. A 1978 penny that's 10%, 20%, or even 50% off-center could be worth $50 to $300 or more, especially if the date is still visible. BI error. Some 1978 Lincoln cents show a tiny die break between the B and E in Liberty, forming what looks like the letter I, hence the name BIE error. These coins are quirky favorites among Lincoln cent collectors and can sell for $5 to $50, sometimes more in uncirculated condition. Clipped planchets. This happens when the metal blank, planchet, isn't cut properly, resulting in a coin that looks like a piece was bitten off. A 1978 penny with a clean clipped planchet error might be valued between $20 and $150. High-grade proofs. The San Francisco Mint produced proof versions of the 1978 penny with exceptional detail and mirror-like finishes. If you have a 1978 S-proof penny graded PR 69 or higher, especially one with cameo or deep cameo features, it could be worth $30 to $150 or more. Part 4, Coin Grading and Why It Matters. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. Even a common coin can become valuable if it's in pristine condition. So how do you know if your 1978 penny is valuable? Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 being flawless. A 1978 penny in MS65, mint state 65, condition can fetch $5 to $15, while an MS67 or higher can go for $100, $300, or more. Yes, even without errors, high-grade coins are sought after. Collectors pay a premium for shiny, uncirculated, well-preserved coins that look like they just came off the mint press. Part 5, Current Market Trends and Value Today. So, what's the current value of a 1978 1-cent coin? For most circulated coins, the value remains at face value, just 1 cent. But for coins with errors, high grades, or rare varieties, prices range dramatically. Common circulated, 1 cent, $0.03 MS65 plus, uncirculated $5. $1.25 error coins, double die, off-center, BAE $50, $1,000 plus proof coins, 1978, S $10, $100 plus rare high-grade specimens. Some auction records go beyond $3,000, especially if the coin is slabbed and certified. In 2024, one such high-grade 1978 penny sold for over $3,800 at auction. Yes, for a coin most people ignore or throw in a drawer. Part 6, Tips for Finding Valuable 1978 Pennies. So how do you find one of these treasures? Here are a few tips. Check old piggy banks, coin jars, and pocket change. Visit flea markets, garage sales, estate auctions. Go through rolls of pennies from your local bank, called coin roll hunting. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect your coins for errors or doubling. If you find something unusual, take it to a coin dealer or submit it for grading. Part 7, Final Thoughts. Could you be holding a fortune? The 1978 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something ordinary can turn out to be extraordinary. It's a reminder that history is everywhere, even in your pocket. So don't overlook your change. That 1978 penny you found in your drawer or wallet might just be the one collectors are searching for. And with some of these coins being valued at $500, $1,000, or even more, it's worth taking a closer look. Every coin tells a story, and the story of the 1978 1-cent Liberty, "In God We Trust" coin is still being written by collectors like you. OUTRO, call to action. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more amazing coin videos, and comment below if you've got a 1978 penny in your collection. I'd love to hear your stories. That dives deep into the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable values sitting right in your pocket change. If you're someone who loves collecting coins, learning about history, or you're just curious about how a single penny could be worth thousands, or even millions, then you're in the right place. Today we're talking about a very special coin that might just be hiding in your change jar, your wallet, or your childhood collection box. We're talking about the 1984 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny, the one that says, "In God We Trust," right at the top. Don't let its coppery shine and tiny value fool you. This coin might just be your golden ticket. So buckle up, because this video is going to be a deep dive into the history, the hidden value, the fascinating errors, and the current red-hot market for the 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how much it could be worth, and how you could potentially turn a 1-cent coin into a serious payday. Let's get into it. Section 1. The history behind the 1984 1-cent coin. The 1984 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin, it's a small piece of American history. First, let's talk about where it all began. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin replaced the Indian head penny and became the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. Now fast forward to 1984. America was in a time of technological growth, pop culture explosion, and economic change. Ronald Reagan was president, the first Apple Macintosh computer was being tested, and Prince was climbing the charts with "Purple Rain." In the middle of all this change, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing billions of 1-cent coins. The 1984 penny kept the iconic Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been in use since 1959. The obverse still featured Lincoln's proud profile with the bold words "Liberty," the year 1984, and the national motto "In God We Trust." But little did anyone know, among the billions of coins minted that year, a few special ones would become the stars of the coin collecting world. Section 2. How many were made? Let's talk numbers. In 1984, the U.S. Mint produced a staggering number of Lincoln cents. In total, over 8.15 billion pennies were minted in 1984. That's more than 25 coins for every single person in the United States at the time. Most were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark. Others were struck at the Denver Mint, marked with a small "D" just below the year. With so many coins in circulation, why is this one special? What makes a 1984 penny stand out from the rest? Let's talk about it. Section 3. Why the 1984 penny is so valuable. Not all coins are created equal. And that's especially true with the 1984 Lincoln penny. What gives this humble coin its extraordinary value isn't its age or its rarity in numbers, it's the errors and varieties that make collectors go crazy. One particular error turns this penny from spare change into a collector's dream. The biggest star of the show is the 1984 double-ear Lincoln penny. That's right. One of the most famous errors in all of coin collecting history is the double die obverse, also known in this case as the doubled ear error. If you look closely at Lincoln's ear on some 1984 pennies, you'll notice something strange. It looks like he has two ears. This doubling effect wasn't intentional. It happened when the die used to strike the coin had a misalignment, creating a doubled image on the obverse. This error is visible to the naked eye in most cases, making it one of the easiest major double die varieties to spot. No need for microscopes or fancy tools. If you see it, you'll know it. And here's the kicker, these doubled ear error pennies can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition. Section 4. How to identify a valuable 1984 penny. Here's what to look for when you examine your 1984 Liberty penny. Check the date. It should say 1984 clearly. Look at Lincoln's ear. A doubled ear or a shadow-like image of a second ear behind the main one is the sign you want. Check the condition. Coins in mint state, uncirculated, or with little wear fetch much higher prices. Look for mint marks. Most of these errors were found on Philadelphia Mint coins, which don't have a mint mark. Now, a regular 1984 penny without any errors is worth about 1 cent in circulation. In uncirculated condition, it might fetch between 5 and 25 cents. But if you find a 1984 double-deer penny in MS-65 red condition, that coin could easily sell for $250 to $500. Some pristine examples have sold for $1,000 or more at auction, and that's not even the rarest part. Some off-center strikes, die cracks, and other mint errors on 1984 pennies have gone for thousands of dollars. We're talking collector-grade treasure that some people would pay top dollar for. Section 5, Market Value Today. So, how's the 1984 penny performing in the market right now? Well, as of this recording, collectors are actively hunting for these coins. With coin collecting becoming more popular than ever and platforms like eBay and heritage auctions putting coins in front of global buyers, the demand for unique and error coins is skyrocketing. A circulated 1984 penny might only get you face value, but a double-deer variety in top condition, it can easily fetch $64 or more, and sometimes way beyond that if you're selling to the right collector or through the right auction house. Some sellers have even listed their 1984 error pennies for several $1,000s, hoping for a lucky break or a passionate collector willing to pay a premium. And with the way trends are going, the value is only going to climb. Section 6, Tips for Collectors and Sellers. If you're into coin collecting, or just curious if you might be sitting on a jackpot, here's what you should do. Start checking your change. Every penny counts. Use a magnifying glass or macro camera to spot fine details. Compare your coin to reference images online from reputable coin grading companies. Consider getting your coin graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC if you believe it's valuable. Join collector groups or forums to learn more and find potential buyers, and remember, don't clean or polish the coin. That can lower its value significantly. OUTRO, call to action. So there you have it, the incredible story behind the 1984 1-cent Liberty, In God We Trust, USA penny. From a simple copper coin in your pocket to a potentially valuable treasure, this little coin proves that history, rarity, and error can turn the most ordinary object into something extraordinary. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another story like this. We're dropping videos weekly about coin values, hidden rarities, and tips to help you build your collection or discover hidden gems in your change. Have you ever found a rare coin? Maybe even a 1984 double-deer penny? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. Today, we're about to uncover the unbelievable story behind the 1997 1-cent Liberty, In God We Trust, coin from the United States of America. This little copper-plated coin might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but what if I told you that some of these humble pennies have sold for way more than face value? In fact, some collectors are hunting them down for over $98 or even higher, depending on the condition, variety, and demand in the market. That's right, we're talking about the 1997 Lincoln cent, a coin you might have sitting in a jar or tucked away in a drawer, possibly holding hidden value. So grab your coin collection, tune in, and let's dig deep into the history, design, errors, and current market trends of this seemingly simple but surprisingly valuable coin. Section 1, Coin Background and History. Let's start at the very beginning. The 1997 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln cent, is part of a coin series that began way back in 1909, commemorating the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and not just any person, but one of the most iconic and respected presidents in American history. The 1997 edition continues the same long-standing design created by Victor David Brenner, with some modern modifications over the decades. By 1997, the reverse still featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design that began in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. That reverse design would continue until 2008, when the mint introduced a series of new reverses. In 2009 that the 1997 penny was minted in two main locations, Philadelphia Mint, which had no mint mark, Denver Mint, which had a small d below the date. Both of these mints produced hundreds of millions of these coins, but don't let that fool you. Even in a sea of millions, some rare varieties and conditions stand out to collectors and investors alike. Section 2, Design Details. Let's take a closer look. At the design. On the obverse side, we have the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above his head are the words, "In God We Trust," to the left is the word, "Liberty," and to the right is the date 1997, with or without a mint mark indicating where it was produced. The reverse side features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, and if you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can actually see a tiny representation of the seated Lincoln inside the memorial. The inscriptions include United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum just above the memorial, and 1 cent boldly at the bottom. Section 3, Metal Composition and Physical Details. What's the coin made of? Well, the 1997 Lincoln cent is not made of solid copper. In fact, since 1982, U.S. pennies have been made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. The total composition is 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, giving it that familiar reddish appearance but with a much lighter core. It weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 mm with a plain, smooth edge. Section 4, Special Varieties and Error Coins. Now here's where things get really exciting. While most 1997 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent, some error coins and special varieties have sold for far more, in some cases up to $100 or more depending on their rarity and condition. Some of the most sought-after varieties include double die obverse, DDO. This is when the coin has noticeable doubling in the inscriptions, especially in Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. These coins can sell for $20 to $200 plus depending on how dramatic the doubling is and how well preserved the coin is. Off-center strikes, a coin that was misaligned during striking and ended up off-center. These can be quite valuable if a large percentage of the design is missing and date is still visible. Values range from $15 to over $100 depending on severity. BIE error. This occurs when a die crack forms between the letters B and E in Liberty, forming what looks like an extra I. Collectors love these quirky varieties, and they can bring $10 to $50 or more. Clipped planchet. These are coins that were improperly cut from the metal sheet, resulting in a curved or clipped edge. These are quite eye-catching and often fetch $20 to $75 or more. Struck through grease. If grease or debris got between the die and the planchet during minting, the resulting coin can have missing or blurred features. Some collectors chase these kinds of minting mistakes, which can go for $10 to $50 plus depending on the effect. Section 5, Grading and Market Value. So what's the actual market value of a 1997 1-cent coin? In circulated condition, most 1997 pennies are worth 1 cent, obviously. But if you happen to have one in uncirculated condition, especially with full red luster, it could be worth much more. Here's a general breakdown. Circulated condition, 1 cent to $0.05 uncirculated, MS60, MS63 50 cents to $1.50 brilliant uncirculated, MS64, MS65 $2 to $5 high-grade red coins. MS66, MS67 RD $20 to $60 top, graded examples, MS68 RD and above. These coins are rare and can sell for $98 or more, especially if certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Remember, color plays a huge role in the value of Lincoln cents. Coins are classified as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, red, RD. Red coins, especially in high grades, are the most desirable and command the highest prices. Section 6, Collector Tips. Thinking about collecting 1997 Lincoln cents or checking your change? Here are some tips. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling or errors in the letters and numbers. Look for sharp, well-struck details, especially around Lincoln's hair and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Avoid cleaning your coin, it can destroy the value. Store in protective holders like 2x2 flips or capsules to preserve luster and prevent damage. Consider sending high-quality coins to be professionally graded if they appear flawless or have rare errors. Section 7, The Million-Dollar Hype. Now, while most 1997 pennies won't make you a millionaire overnight, there's always that one in a million. Some unique varieties, unknown errors, or coins in absolutely perfect condition could catch the eye of the right collector at the right time, and boom, the value skyrockets. It's happened before with other coins. Why not the 1997 cent? Keep your eyes peeled and stay curious. You never know when you might be holding on to a small fortune in the form of a copper-colored coin, outro, called TO action. So there you have it, folks, the full story behind the 1997 1-cent Liberty, In God We Trust, coin. From its historical roots and design to rare errors and its market value climbing up to $98 or more, this coin proves that even the smallest things can hold big stories, and big value. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in everyday change, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Got a rare coin? Drop a comment below and tell us about it. Who knows, your coin might be worth a fortune. Where tiny coins hold massive secrets. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of a very special coin. It's small, it's copper-colored, and it might be hiding in your pocket right now. Yes, we're talking about the incredible 2017 1-cent Liberty Lincoln penny, a coin that has stirred up the collecting world and is now grabbing headlines for its rising market value, with some examples fetching up to $687 or more. If you think all pennies are just worth 1 cent, this video is going to change your mind forever. So grab your coin jars, pull out that old piggy bank, and let's uncover the mystery, the history, the value, and the shocking market demand behind the 2017 penny that could be worth a small fortune. Scene transition, old images of Lincoln pennies and the US Mint. Let's rewind the clock and talk about how we even got to this point, the story behind the 2017 penny. The 2017 Lincoln penny might look like any other 1-cent coin at first glance, but it marks a historic moment in the history of the United States Mint. For over 225 years, the Philadelphia Mint had never placed a mint mark, P, on the Lincoln penny. That's right, never. All pennies from Philadelphia had no visible mint mark, until 2017. Why the change? That year marked the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint, and to celebrate this monumental occasion, the Mint made a subtle yet groundbreaking decision. For the first time ever, they added a P mint mark below the date on the Lincoln penny. This small letter made a big impact. Suddenly, this everyday coin became a historic first, a commemorative piece not just in design but in meaning. Collectors took notice, and so did the market. Cut to close-up shots of the P mint mark on the coin. This P wasn't flashy. It wasn't surrounded by stars or banners. It was simple. Just a small P under the year. But it signaled a turning point. It told collectors, this isn't just another penny. This is a part of U.S. numismatic history, and here's the catch, this was a one-year-only coin. In 2018, the Mint quietly returned to issuing Lincoln pennies from Philadelphia without any mint mark, as it had done for decades before. That makes the 2017 penny a one-year exclusive, a true standalone issue, and we all know what happens when something becomes a limited edition. Demand skyrockets, scene, market graphs, coin grading visuals, and auction photos. So what makes this penny worth $687? Now let's talk dollars and cents, or should we say, hundreds of dollars and cents. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. A regular 2017 penny in circulation might not seem like much. But when it's found in mint state condition, or even better, graded as MS-66 or MS-67 by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, the value soars. And yes, there have been documented sales of these pennies reaching up to $687 or more, especially for coins with flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, and full original luster. Even more impressive are the errors and varieties. That's right, some 2017 pennies come with striking errors, double dies, and off-center strikes. These coins can fetch even higher prices, depending on their rarity and visibility of the error. A 2017 penny with a doubling on the date or the inscriptions, Liberty, and, In God We Trust, can be extremely valuable. These coins are actively hunted by collectors and can command hundreds to even thousands of dollars, depending on how dramatic the error is. Cut to real auction listing screenshots, eBay sold prices, collector forums. So what are collectors and sellers saying right now? On marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and even private numismatic groups, 2017 pennies are heating up. Uncirculated rolls are being bought up. Graded examples are in demand. And error coins? Those are like hitting the jackpot. One collector reportedly sold a high-grade 2017 penny with a visible die clash for over $700 at auction. That's right, from 1 cent to $700. All from a coin you might have passed over without a second glance. Scene, collector tips, how to identify valuable coins, magnifying glass shots. Here's how you can find a valuable 2017 penny. Step 1, check the date. Make sure it says 2017 and look right under the year for that tiny mint mark. Step 2, check the condition. If the coin looks brand new, no scratches, bright red luster, it could be worth grading. Even if it's slightly used, it might still hold value, especially if it has an error. Step 3, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass and inspect the details. Look closely at the lettering. Do any letters look doubled? Is anything off-center? Are there any strange lines or dents that seem like a minting mistake? These can turn your penny into serious money. Step 4, consider professional grading. A coin graded by PCGS or NGC will always fetch higher value because the grade confirms its authenticity and condition. Scene, emotional music, inspiring story of finding treasure in everyday life. Imagine this, you're going through your pocket change. A penny catches your eye. You look closer. 2017, you flip it over, there's the P. And suddenly, that little coin is no longer just a cent, it's a potential $687 prize waiting to be discovered. That's not just luck, that's the thrill of the hunt. That's why coin collecting is more than a hobby, it's a treasure hunt, and the best part? These coins are still out there. In your wallet, in your change jar, at the bottom of your car's cup holder. You don't need to be a millionaire to start, you just need an eye for history and a little curiosity. Closing scene, inspirational music, slow zoom on a 2017 penny, so if you've got a 2017 penny with a mint mark, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Because this coin isn't just copper. It's a piece of history. A limited edition. A secret treasure hiding in plain sight, and who knows? That penny might just be your ticket to $687 or more. Thanks for watching, Coin Fam. If you found this video fascinating, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing coin stories, rare coin values, and hidden treasures from your change. Let us know in the comments if you have a 2017 penny and what condition it's in. You might be sitting on a goldmine. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, even the smallest coins can hold the biggest secrets.